I am against the largest social media company in the world and in the history of civilization. And the judge looked at me and I said, Your Honor, look, Facebook's done you dirty. Instagram's done you dirty. And Meta's done you dirty. They don't want people to know that.
It's 11:27 in the morning on Thursday, April 16th. We filmed our first episode actually 8 months ago.
At the Lanier Trial Academy.
Lanier Trial Academy. How applicable. We're waiting for Marc Lanier to come upstairs. Jen's walking him over to make sure that he's not just getting crowded with everybody who wants to talk to him, which happens every time he speaks.
VP of Client Services and bodyguard.
Yes, a phenomenal human. And then we're going to sit down and we're going to talk to Marc. And I don't know what we're going to talk to him about, but it's going to be amazing.
We're on our way to go get Marc Lanier. He's going to be on the podcast, so we got to rush over. We don't have a lot of time, but we're going to make it work. Exciting. Woo. All right. Now I'm getting a little nervous. It's like I'm meeting Santa Claus or
Better
something.
fix your hair. Jon and Marc are ready to talk a lot about a lot of stuff, but we got 10 minutes.
We're not going to have that much time, but we are still getting time with Marc. And then he's going to be whisked away and get on a plane, and back to Houston he goes. So
Can't wait. I'm so scared now. Do you know how hard it is to ask the right question when you only got 10 minutes?
Well, I just ate and he doesn't sleep.
Hello, hello. Hey, Marc, I'm Alec.
Alec, good to see you.
Excited to have you on the podcast.
Hey, glad to be on the podcast. This will be fun.
Yeah.
Here we are in Vegas, getting ready for the podcast to end all podcasts.
The #1 legal marketing podcast, as they say.
Yeah, and the second is so far distant you can't see him. All right, the #1 legal podcast in the universe in the history of humanity.
let's go. Welcome to the Jon and Marc podcast. Today, it's the Jon and Marc podcast with the one and only Marc Lanier.
Which is remarkable that we would both be here. So.
Marc just got ushered off stage where he spoke about the social media addiction trial. He spoke about the upcoming litigation that they are pursuing in the AI space. And he is here to talk to us for a few minutes before he has to go rush back.
We had a laundry list of questions to ask you, and then we made it very short.
Well, you didn't need to because we're filming this on a Thursday and that's laundry day for me. So the laundry list would have been fine. No, I'm ecstatic to be here. I thank you guys for having me on. You really do have one of the most compelling podcasts out there for legal marketing issues and legal issues. What's going on in the world.
We really appreciate it.
Well done.
Thank you very much. And I will say, like, you guys, aside from your trial work, you run a top-notch operation. Your people are amazing. From Dara to Dwana to Rebecca, you guys do a great job. Yes,
Yeah.
very good job.
And Kevin oversees so much of this. And these folks have been with me for so long that they're just, it's a very tight-knit circle. And it's been a blessing to get to work with them.
We did have a whole bunch of questions to go through, but I'm going to ask you the one without the warm-up. I want to know how you feel about the fact that Facebook came out publicly and said, we're not going to allow lawyers to pursue more claims against them by advertising on their platform.
Yeah, I guess that kind of tells you that they have their tail between their legs and they feel like they've been kicked pretty hard, which I guess they did, but they had it coming for them. And realistically, this gives you a glimpse into who they are. Because, if the litigation is as poor as they say it is, they should not fear lawyers advertising. They should not fear jurors deciding. But they know internally that this litigation illustrates many of their flaws and many of their calculated works to take advantage of people. And so they don't want that word out there. And they don't want lawyers freely telling people that, look, Facebook's done you dirty, and Instagram's done you dirty, and Meta's done you dirty. They don't want people to know that.
Peculiar timing on that one. we started doing marketing for this for Matt Bergman from the beginning 4 years ago.
When he started.
I remember sitting down with John, I was like, there's no way in heck they're going to let us run these ads. 4 or 5 years later, they finally, right after the decision came down, they decided maybe this isn't a good idea.
Yeah, they didn't think they were going to lose.
Yep.
They thought they had this in the bag. Their strategy, remember, they've targeted young kids from the beginning. Mm-hmm. In the trial, they were still targeting. They were just targeting her in the courtroom instead of to get her on the media. And they tried to attack her. And they thought they could win by attacking the plaintiff. And the problem is the jury understood the truth. And the truth was damning for them.
A lot of people in the public sphere know about you and about the firm from this trial, but the firm itself has so much going on. It's such a large operation, and while that one case that you won is going to be a huge game changer for that specific litigation, you've now set the framework for this is how these trials are going to go. You also have a MISO operation that you've been operating for a very long time. The work that you guys are doing in Libby, Montana is incredible. The work that you are pursuing on behalf of the states in the Google antitrust litigation, there's just so much going on. How do you look at your firm and balance your trial work with the day-to-day operations and the other cases that you are continuing to pursue?
Well, we have 65 or 70 remarkable lawyers, and we've got support staff of 100 plus. And they do an incredible job at not only preparing and shepherding these cases into the posture where I can try them, but they also do a wonderful job themselves of trying some of the cases. They do a wonderful job of interacting with all of the courts and all of the lawyers that are out there. You know, our referring lawyers are people that some want to just refer it and get the mailbox money, but many others want to refer it and also keep involved. Mm-hmm. And so they're really good at trying to make sure that the referring lawyers have a level of involvement that they're happy with. And so they do a great job working it up. And you're right, we've got different teams. So we have a business litigation team that's pursuing not just the Google antitrust case, but a number of different business type cases, insurance fraud cases, all sorts of cases like that. And then we've got another unit that just does general torts. I mean, we've got people, we handle car wrecks, we handle trucking accidents, we handle slip and falls, we handle Uber cases, ladders that break. Then we've got maritime work where we represent, we've just settled out one of the defendants in the bridge case in Maryland.
Oh, yeah.
We represented the state of Maryland against the shipping company that collided into the bridge and just settled that for a couple of $2 billion. We have different units that do all of this work. We have an asbestos unit that is just incredible at handling those cases, whether it's mesothelioma or the talcum powder cases with the ovarian cancer and so many others. And then we've got the social media team, and then we've got the general pharma team. So we love it. We're diverse.
I'm just saying you've like jumped the cultural. My wife knew that we worked together for a long time, but when the trial started, she was like bugging me for updates, like inside scoop of like how things were going. She's like, when's the verdict gonna come down? Are they gonna win? She was like every day following online, like asking me for updates. I was like, I don't know anything, and I'm not making that phone call. But she was like invested.
She should have been asking me, Mark.
But like
you should have said, "Hey, here's
her
what
and her girlfriends were all like texting updates because
yeah.
they're like they wanted to see the result of this."
Yeah, well, it was interesting. The media, the judge had to limit media passes because there was too many people wanted in and not enough room. And so the court limited how many the lawyers could bring in, the parties, how many the media could bring in, and how many visitors could come in. And then there was press set outside the whole time, and it was quite a press circus. Interesting note that nobody knows about. The second or third day, I had gone outside and the press wanted to talk to me, so I did a quick press conference. And I made some statements about this, that, and the other, and that I thought the lawyers had cherry-picked evidence, and I was going to look forward to showing it, and some things like that. The next morning I come in, And one of the legal teams on the other side, a Meta lawyer, gets up and tells the judge, I can't believe Mr. Lanier has done this. He's talked to the media about this case. That's outrageous, and da-da-da-da-da. And the judge looked at me and I said, Your Honor, I am against the largest social media company in the world and in the history of civilization. If you don't think for a minute that their PR department has put out statements, that they are carrying information on their own social media that is available and going out to 1 billion plus people, compared to me talking down on the sidewalk with a reporter.
Yeah.
I said, this is not the pot calling the kettle black. This is the ocean complaining about a thimble of salt water, robbing it of its glory. I said, this is absurd. And the judge said, what are you suggesting? I said, if they are upset about this, then let me do discovery on them. Let me do discovery to find out what they're putting out in their press reports. And at that point, they were kind of like, well, Judge, this isn't that big a deal. And they never talked about it again.
What do you think is eventually going to happen? Let's fast forward like 2-3 years to potential resolution.
They've got to settle. The documents are too bad. Now, they may try and win a couple of cases first to try to drive down the dollars, but they're going to have to come to grips with this. They purposefully addicted a lot of people, in my opinion, and that's what the jury found. And the jury found they did it maliciously.
But aside from the legal side, what are they going to do? What do you think is going to happen, or what should they do to protect children?
That's got me scared to death, Jonathan, because I'm worried that they're going to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. They're really good at pretending
To fix something.
While internally, as one of their own employees said, publicly our PR is saying we're fixing this. But internally we're doing cartwheels to avoid fixing this, even though we know we could fix it if they would just let us.
Yeah.
So I hope they'll cross that threshold.
Also, not only your statement, we're talking about Facebook, as it's been, you're also against Facebook and Google, because it was YouTube. Not like one giant, but two giants to control
And
all
Snapchat and TikTok,
Yeah.
who didn't want to show face against you.
The entire media that controls all the information in the world versus the Lanier firm and the rest of the trial team.
Yeah, somebody said, was it like David versus Goliath? And I said, I don't think so. I don't think that we were even David. I mean, that's a step up. This was the fly buzzing around David's head versus Goliath. They had us outnumbered, outmanned, outspent, out AI'd, out everything. But truth came out. Thank God.
One of the things that you spoke about at the Trial Academy last year was your use of AI in your processes. And you're a big proponent of this. You're very vocal about it. I know for those of you who are going to watch this, you want to go to the Trial Academy and you want to see Marc talk about how he uses AI. And also...
Is it June 22nd?
Through the 25th, Houston, Texas. Lanier, trialacademy.com.
In addition to talking about your use of AI, it's very interesting that now there are cases that you are developing against the AI platforms. Can you talk about how you can safely use it, but also have these ongoing lawsuits against an OpenAI or looking at things that Gemini is doing?
Yeah, so there are ways you can create shells and you can use layers. So there is a company called, it's got a weird name, Boodlebox. 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 Boodlebox is a conglomerate of 20 plus different AIs. And so we're able to set up an account with them where everything that we send and everything we get back doesn't have an address. So it's not traceable. So we're siloed, we're protected. Our knowledge is protected, what we upload is protected. And then we're able to use Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, all of the different AI engines that are out there with full protection.
Very interesting. I know you're in a rush. You have to get to the airport. I want to be very respectful of your time.
No, we're good for another 2 minutes.
Dude, I'll take it.
Let's hit a home run for the end.
Let me think about this one. With 2 minutes left, what is the one question that I want to ask Marc Lanier? We have 1 minute left. The cases that you are now pursuing, the future of the Lanier law firm, you guys have historically targeted companies that are either medical devices or environmental exposure. You're continuing to pursue those litigations, but now you have these platform-based litigations. Where do you see mass torts continuing to evolve as technology becomes essentially the target in mass tort litigation?
I think you're going to see more litigation in areas that have previously been cloaked in secrecy, because AI can pierce some of that cloak of secrecy. So you're going to see a lot of litigation against insurance companies because they've been cheating everybody forever and a day, but most people can't figure out how.
Yep. Court of public opinion, no one likes them anyway. So.
Nobody likes them. Absolutely. Everybody knows you get cheated by the insurance company. And so I think you're going to see those areas that have historically been able to do wrong, but do it in secrecy because people don't know enough to know how they're doing it. And I think AI is going to help open that up.
Very interesting. Very interesting.
Hey guys, thank you for letting me be on your show.
No.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mark. This is the Jon and Marc podcast with the one and only Marc Lanier. Head to the Trial Academy, hear Mark speak, and follow him. Interestingly enough, Mark's personal social media is super interesting. Go find the chess video where he went and talked about Magnus and the chess scandal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cheating, yeah, or not cheating.
A very, very well-educated, well-traveled person, as well as the best trial lawyer in the world. Thank you for joining us, Mark.
Thanks for having me.
That was a whirlwind.
He's
The past 2 hours of like my emotional roller coaster.
It started off with Kevin saying it's not happening.
Yes.
Yes.
And then us pivoting saying we'll interview him in the car ride to the airport.
As soon as I got that text, I was like,
Listen, like I said, sometimes you got to shoot your shot.
yes, for
Yeah.
sure.
We talked miso.
Yeah, a little bit.
Probably so.
Little bit.
And he's always going to remember because we gave him sun chips.
Thank God.